What's up, everybody? I'm Rodell, and you're watching the Up2U podcast, the podcast where we literally leave it up to you to talk about whatever you want to talk about. Today's episode, we have David Cintron. David Cintron is a very enhanced multimedia multimedia production person. I don't even know what to say. Dave, you know your intro. Say it.
Yeah, I'm just a multimedia producer, which means that I do everything under the sun that is media.
That's exactly where I wanted to go with that.
I don't even know if that's a position.
So, in all seriousness, Dave, what can you tell everybody what you do? Kind of like run your to-do list down. What do you do on a daily basis?
I can't simplify it in just like one task because there's multiple tasks that go together with creating content.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You have, the graphic side, the motion graphic side, you have the video side, you have the audio side, you have the technical side, you have the live stream side. So it all depends, it's all over the map. So that's why multi and the multimedia producer.
And what do you find yourself more really enhanced with or like drawn to?
I would say editing for me is more or less what I like to do.
Okay.
Everything else as far as like a cinematography and all that stuff, I really am not, you know what I'm saying, liking that because you're out in the field, you're doing your thing. I mean, I kind of like it or whatever. It depends on the crew that you're with. But
for sure,
when you're by yourself and you're alone, and a lonely person, it sucks. And it all depends on the type of content that you're producing, right? So you know what I'm saying. But I like to be in the dark room.
Okay, and how long have you been in this field and doing all of this?
Oh God, it's embarrassing to say because you know that we've known each other what. 3 years, 4 years, I would say, even longer than that.
Man, you've seen me grow up. I think I've known you for like 10 years.
Well, there you go. Yeah. No, but I've been in the industry, I think, about 22, 23 years.
Jeez.
So I've seen a lot, done a lot, but, as far as the position in my career in my lifetime right now, I wish I would have done things a little bit differently than what I do now. It's like, I've had people whatever surpass what I've done, and I'm still doing like the mediocre things. But I still consider myself a professional in that aspect. But I still am not really happy where I'm at right now in my career.
And I feel like that's a huge part as far as when you're in this field, never settle and always try, because Photoshop updates on like a daily basis, man. I can't keep up. So with that being said, let that be a lesson to like people coming in and, trying to say, I know everything about Photoshop when you've watched 4 tutorials.
Listen, doing it for 23 years, 24 years, more or less, you're always learning. You do not stop learning. Say, for example, I just cut off the learning or whatever at CG.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to touch it. I've dabbled in it, but it's not something that it's not my forte. So I just stay away from it. I think now in my career, I've learned to, pass the baton over to other people that are more skilled than I would be in that particular category.
That makes perfect sense. So let me ask you this. Oncoming people that are in the works in school like I am with, the dream that, you try to crush in me once before. How do you choose? Like, what advice do you have as far as choosing the right path? And that goes beyond making money, but let's try to touch on more of being happy.
More on being happy. Oh my
Yeah.
God. That's it's tough or whatever, because our industry is very weird. You know what I'm saying? Not a lot of people understand what we do and why we do it. I mean, you know, who stays up or whatever till 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. in the morning, you know, doing a video, you know what I'm saying, trying to push content out there at a particular time frame.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You got people, whatever, that come from 9 to 5 jobs and they're done. You know what I'm saying? Whereas, you know, people like us or whatever, you know, we just love doing it because we love producing content. We just love producing creative things. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah,
And that's what fuels us. But, you know, explaining that to somebody like my wife, you know what I'm saying, that she has no idea. She has a 9 to 5 job, you know what I'm saying? And like she sees me busting my ass, you know what I'm saying? Like in my room and doing editing and all that other stuff. She doesn't quite grasp and understand like the dedication that you need.
And
You're
that's one of the biggest things.
You're giving birth to, you know what I'm saying? You're giving birth to, you know.
You feel like a mad scientist at times, and that's how I would like represent it. Is, you know, I just learned about tracking and like the detailed tracking, and I'm not just talking about, you know, tracking, I don't know, text. I'm talking about like tracking Cinema 4D stuff that I've made in Cinema 4D into real life content, and learning, you know, how I need to pan a camera and keep on recording, and if the slightest movement I have, it's gonna blow everything, like, and make it terrible.
Exactly. And you know, coming from a CG world or whatever, you know, you spent all this time and effort just to do this one push and slide shot or whatever on the camera. And it takes like 4 days to render out, and then like all of a sudden you're like, I don't like it. You know what I mean?
Oh my God.
Go back from the beginning and do all that shit over again. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh.
It defeats the purpose. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you gotta have, first of all, you gotta have patience. Mm-hmm. Second of all, you gotta find out, you know, what exactly do you love to do? For me, you know, I discovered, you know, doing videos just for fun and getting the vibe, getting the bug out, I would say, at an early age. You know, I discovered I love editing, because in reality, editing is where the final, you know, thing is going to be what you show to the world. You know what I'm saying? You could be a cinematographer and shoot all this crap you want, but I ultimately make the decision on what shot, you know what I'm saying,
it makes it
for that particular movie, you know what I'm saying, or that particular piece of content. It all depends, you know what I'm saying? Find what you love to do. If it's audio, focus on that. If it's cinematography, be the best at cinematography, but have an understanding on all the other different departments. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Before you make that final step.
I feel like that's key.
Then you gather respect. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? When you roll in on a set, or whether you roll in on doing a simple music video, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It all depends on what you're passionate about and what you love to do.
So what would you say I would need to get started? Let's say I'm a random person off the street, and you with 20 plus years of experience in this field, what do I need to get started?
You got it in your pocket right here. You know what I'm saying? You got, you know, you could use your phone. You could use, you know, even your laptop screen. Be creative. You know what I'm saying? Like one of the biggest things that I've learned to deal with is, you know, I always want to Hollywood things. You know what I'm saying? Which I always wanted to be. You know, now I'm you know, speaking my age, but I want to be the Steven Spielberg. I want to make the Indiana Jones, you know,
look real
movies and all that other stuff. But like, you know, the more I try to get to it, the more frustrating I get, because I know what I want creatively.
Right.
I just don't have the budget, you know what I'm saying, to make a full set. And I don't have, like, you know, a lot of people don't understand that video is, you know, or, you know, anything creative. It really takes a team, you know what I'm saying, to create something that's, you know, mind blowing and all that other stuff. And you don't know how long it took, you know, to produce that particular content. I always say to people, you know, just stay for the credits and you'll see how many people worked on this 1 2-hour 3-hour movie or an hour or a short film or a short feature. You know
Not even a commercial alone. So being in the advertising world that I am here where I live, I make ads for local companies, and I didn't really keep in mind, and this goes to the minuscule level of I need a lens flare, I need light to come out somewhere else, but I also need a pan at the same time. I can't. You need a team in order, one, make sure the camera's holding up straight, having someone view the camera, making sure everything is good, having someone actually hold the light alone, bouncing light, all that kind of stuff. It's incredible, and I underestimated myself and, you know, this field alone, because I was like, I didn't think it was possible for me. No idea.
Don't say I did. Don't say I didn't warn you. You know what I'm saying? Because for years I say you have no idea what you're getting yourself into. And the frustrating part is, you know, you want to create something. You know what I'm saying? Like that's off the wall, but you know you're limited to one budget, two, you know, a time, and
I just speaking about budget, man. I feel like, I bought this camera for Christmas, and I was using a Canon T6. Canon T6. You know, and so I was happy I got 3 pixels in that, all right? But that goes behind.
Don't get me started on cameras. I started with a high 8. Sony high 8. Okay? Like I come from the real non-linear linear you know, editing. I used to edit on tape to tape.
Oh my God.
That's how far back. Try editing with that and make a mistake.
And keep in mind, budget is a huge thing, but it's not the defining factor of everything. I mean, I've seen people who are truly talented use low-end cameras and make stuff way better, even though I'm recording off of this of what I have right now. But at the same time, you know, what is one thing you would have known prior to getting started?
What was one thing that
you wish you would have known prior to being into this field?
That's I wish I would have known how to properly value myself. That's what I wish I would have known now, you know, back then compared to now, because a lot of guys in the industry, and I'm trying, you know, women and men, you know, they get into this industry, you know, and there's a lot of people out there that want to take advantage of them because of their talent, because of their creativity, you know. And it's not only, you know, it's artists in general. Yeah. We as artists are very self-conscious about what we make, because we want to produce something in our heads and do the best job possible. You know what I'm saying? And we can't get it out, and we get self-conscious and we get low on ourselves and we devalue ourselves, right? Okay. And then like when a paying client comes up and then they're like, hey, you know, like we don't never see our, you know, our stuff is like, you know, oh, that's crap or whatever, but to somebody else, you know what I'm saying? Like it's like, whoa, that's fire, you know what I mean? And then like you're thinking like, you know, what are you talking about? Yeah. And then like how much you would do for that video, and like, you know, they like, remember, whoever says the number first loses, you know what I mean? In this business. So like, you know, oh, you know, like I could do it, you know, like, and if the guy says, oh, could you do it for like 300? And like, you're like, I guess, you know what I'm saying? Like the biggest mistake that I learned is value yourself, find out what a price range is, you know what I'm saying? Before you price things out. The biggest advice that I could give somebody starting out is become a production assistant, a PA, right? Okay. That's how you start off. Intern to these higher, you know, higher production places in your town, and just help out and absorb that world before you go out there asking for money.
Okay.
But the biggest thing that I've wished that I would have taken back was trying to figure out pricing, because at my age right now, I should be, what I'm saying, at a higher level, financially. And it's not anything to do with greed. It's not anything to do with, money, what I'm saying? Like, it's just